Our cup runneth over on this day. You see the squad here. We put together our Wednesday team, and Peter Schrager with us as well, and he is going to kick it off to start this morning. We're looking ahead to week 2 as we turn the page, and Peter's going to drop some. All right, Peter's got one more Schrager bomb. Peter, go.
We got a beauty on Thursday night. It's Commanders versus.
Let's go! Let's go! Come on,
Drop
Peter!
that octave. I see you.
The dulcet tones. And I'll tell you, what I love about it is the matchup. And I'm going to say this, Jayden Daniels is going up against the best defense in the NFL on Thursday. Yeah, I'm already jumping the gun. Packers look that dominant against the Lions. They're doing it in their home building. And with Micah Parsons on the squad, watch out.
I don't know how they do it. The NFL is unbelievable. They give us all these great week 1 matchups, and then for the first Thursday night game of the season, 5 days later, they give us the heavyweight fight that everybody wants. Jayden Daniels on one side and Micah Parsons on the other. And you were telling me this morning, Micah played 29 snaps on Sunday.
And that is more than Matt LaFleur expected him to even play. Micah lobbied behind the scenes to get more action in that game. 10 days after he ended up in Green Bay. So now the question for the Packers, I think the challenge is we were going to ramp up his reps as the season goes along, as he gets acclimated. But you're on a short week. So that's the issue there with Micah. Do you give him more? But he also knows his opponent very well in the Commanders, so we'll see what he's able to do.
All right, so Meek, let's set the stage for what is at stake here. You got Daniels on one side, you got Micah on the other. What is at stake for the winner of this game?
The winner of this game becomes the front runner and challenger of the Eagles. We're going to determine who we expect, and I think coming into the season, everyone was high on Green Bay, and a lot of people were saying Washington could regress. I think the way that Washington's D-line and the whole team honestly looked last week is like regression isn't a possibility. They could improve, and we'll see how good they are going up against this Green Bay Packers team.
Yeah, I love what you're saying. And when I think about this football team, the thing that I loved the most was Dan Quinn, that their running backs, the Washington Commanders running backs, were the most effective in the NFL last week. They will have to do that against Green Bay. You do not want this to be a drop-back game where you're playing into the hands of that Green Bay defense with Micah Parsons. Go run it at him, make him play both run and pass. Do not become predictable. If you're predictable, they will light you up. And I think Dan Quinn, knowing Micah the way he does, will know how to attack him in that run game.
Lewis, what exactly is the formula? I know you have a tape for us. What exactly is the formula for Washington against this defense?
Well, I think, one, as Jeff alluded to, you're going to have to really establish the run game. You have to really put Mike at the point of attack. And then the other thing you need to do is you can't have him just sitting there in the pocket on the spot where Micah goes, I know exactly where you are, so I know exactly what rushes I need to go ahead and execute. You got to move the pocket on him. They did this last week against the Giants. What did we say about the Giants all preseason? That they could have one of the most fearsome pass rushes in the NFL? So what did Cliff Kingsbury do? He changed the launch point. Jayden's one of the best run-pass option quarterbacks in the NFL, one of the best dual threats in the NFL. And his QBR outside the pocket is just sick. You can see it right there. That way, Micah can't really get a beat on him. That way, you can kind of change your blocking schemes. Maybe get a little chip on him, bring somebody down in short motion in a reduced split. Chip him, pin him inside, let Jayden get out on the perimeter, and then he can hit those deep 7 routes as he did on the first one, the deep comeback here like he does on the second one. That's what he lives off of. So look, Cliff's going to have to be on it. Because if Micah knows exactly where number 5 is, that's when he hunts you down.
Can I add to this just really quickly? When you start doing those pins, like where you're putting everybody in motion, you're chipping, you're giving Micah Parsons a number of things to think about, and also it moves the defense. So now not only does he have the pass option,
Parsons had a problem with his back. I was told, I was suggested to me that was real. And then he went out and he played the other day, and Kmart said he was lobbying for more snaps. Now they play again 4 days.
It was real, Grady. Football players are superheroes. He's fought through the pain, and he might have taken some drugs or whatever. He got it done. I believe the man's back was hurting him just because he's awesome.
That's what, you know what? He should get a shirt with that and just have my back.
You know why his back was hurting? Because he was carrying the Cowboys defense for the last couple of years. That's why his back was sore.
His back,
now his back is fresh out of Green Bay.
His back may be hurting carrying that bag of money.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You know what I mean?
There we go.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is for him to then turn around and have to play a Thursday game off the Sunday. Is there a
legit?
Every now and again, the host has a legitimate question. Is there any concern to that whatsoever?
No,
it's early. It's early.
25?
It's early in the season right now. I mean, guys are still fresh. I think if you're talking about November and December, that may be a little bit different of a story. I think Micah right now, there's so much juice and adrenaline flowing through him that even if there is a legitimate back tightness, whatever it is, I think he'll be good to go.
Got his money. He wants to
He
show
didn't
up.
go through training camp, but he can't be any fresher. Like that offensive line, we got to block these clowns that stay fresh. It's unfair. There should be a rule set in place.
I'll see if it's Chase Schrager bombs. Peter, what's the first note you have for us out of New York?
Greeny, Jackson Dart Watch is officially on in New York. Yes, it's not going to happen necessarily to start week 2, but everyone is well aware of how week 1 went and that Russell Wilson's on a 1-year deal. It's basically a rental for this season. Jackson Dart is way ahead of timeline, and the front office and the coaching staff is well aware that this guy might be ready to go sooner than they maybe originally anticipated. Number 2, Jared Goff suddenly.
Hold that thought. We'll start with one, and we're going to come here. We're doing things a little differently this morning. He's going to drop a bomb. We're going to react, and then we'll keep it going. So he says that it may be time for Jackson Dart sooner than we. Why are you giving me that look?
Jackson Dart's like, stay out there, Russ. Stay out there, Russ. I don't want what you're getting. I mean, did you see how Russ got hit? You think he wants to go get behind that offensive line of what they did the other? Absolutely not.
I mean, my biggest concern is I heard Peter say that maybe he's ahead of schedule. I'm not sure that that's true. I'm not there, obviously, but it seems like what happened on Sunday is influencing the way that they are trying to develop Jackson Dart, which I think is concerning. That could be a mistake.
So that Daniel Jones performance got everybody fired. Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, DJ.
So, I mean, if Daniel Jones becomes this year's Saquon Barkley, we're going to have a whole other conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But we're a long way from that. But here is the reality of it. We talk about quarterbacks being ruined more than they are developed in this league. I feel like the Giants have to be very careful not to cave into public pressure. The world is clamoring. They looked just awful last week. You got to play Jackson Dart when it suits Jackson Dart, not when it suits the rest of the organization's timeline.
Yeah, there's no question about that, but who's to say that his time isn't right now? Who's to say that in practice he already looks like he's in command of this offense? Quite honestly, they can do some things with this offense they can't do with Russ. Remember in the preseason when they went no huddle and a lot of the plays that looked like, hey, they had been talking to Lane Kiffin down there at Ole Miss, and it looked like they were running an SEC offense. That can help this offensive line go a little bit faster, get the ball out of your hands quicker. Jackson's a better runner. I say by week 4 or 5 they play New Orleans, down in New Orleans. He'll be in there by then.
What are you hearing out of the Giants, Kmart?
Well, I think at this point, they're looking at Jackson Dart knowing that we have the future in front of us. But what you were just saying about he could be ready, my thing is then why wasn't he the starter? It's been 1 week. Why wasn't he named the starter from jump? If all of the things you're saying, if one bad game from Russell Wilson is the thing that's going to make you turn about face.
You know how these NFL head coaches get. You know how they get. You know how those head coaches get. They want to stay with their guy until it's time. It's time. Though.
Yeah,
it's getting close.
He's our guy, win or tie, not lose. Okay, that's Schrager bomb number 1. Peter, give us number 2.
Jared Goff has a surprisingly huge week 2 matchup now against his former OC and play caller, Ben Johnson. I don't think anyone anticipated us to be saying the Lions are in this situation, but here we are. Goff, week 2 against the guy that is now getting a lot more credit than maybe he did last year, Ben Johnson, for what the Lions were on offense. But on week 1 in Green Bay, Jared Goff had the least yards per attempt he's had since his rookie season. The running game wasn't existent, and the offense looked inept. Suddenly it's Goff versus Ben Johnson, what might be a very important week 2 game for the Lions.
Look, I mean, we're going to do a little segment later this morning on overreactions from week 1, which I know we're sometimes prone to do, and I raise my hand. I certainly am. But that was alarming. What happened to Detroit at Lambeau Field. And if it doesn't look a lot better against the Bears this week, then I think it becomes a 5-alarm fire.
Yeah, look, the offense looked predictable. It looked stale. It looked stagnant. Obviously going up against a Green Bay team that was pretty damn motivated and had a guy who was playing out of his mind as far as his hustle and intensity. But look, John Morton, offensive coordinator, there's no question that the bullseye is on him.
Amen.
Because every single call that he makes, they're going to say, Ben wouldn't have done that. Ben wouldn't have done that. Ben would have done that. And that is some tremendous pressure to have to work from him.
Yeah, it's Morton versus Ben Johnson. It isn't Goff. That's what he's got to look at. That's the true. That's where the pressure really is. They look inept on offense. And you heard Dan Campbell. We can't rush the ball for 2 yards a carry. We're supposed to be the most physical team in football. They were not last week. They better figure it out.
That's what it comes down to. This team is built to operate in a very specific way. When the running game falls apart, everything else in this offense gets a lot more difficult. You're expecting Jared Goff to be like a Peyton Manning-esque pocket passer, picking teams apart. That's not what you want him to be.
The funny thing is I want to see if Ben Johnson is able to neutralize the Lions Or is he going to realize, man, I wish I had those players still?
Yeah.
He says a complete
Probably both.
They've lost them all.
both of them.
And a good short tackle right there. It stops him a good distance short of the marker. It sets up 4th down. He'll try and get there on the ground. And that's not going to work. The defense comes up with a 4th down, 4th quarter stand, and forces a turnover on downs.
So the offense finds themselves in a tough situation. They're down by 2 scores late in this game. They know this is a prime opportunity. They need to play for a touchdown, and instead the defense makes a huge stand, and they got a chance now to close this game out.
On the ground to start the drive with Pacheco. He'll be taken down after a gain of 2. Once again, it's Pacheco. And he'll take this ahead for a gain of about 5, and here comes 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Mahomes. Oh, in trouble. Down he goes.
A 6-yard loss. It's 4th down.
Two minutes remain in the 4th quarter. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. On 4th down, on is the Chiefs' new punter for 2024, Matt Ariza. Ronnie Bell is back deep to return it. This is taken at the 25. Oh, how about the coverage there? Met and dropped before he can get a return going. This is 1st and 10. They'll motion over Samuel. They'll drop to throw. Caught. This is Ayuk. Here's 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Purdy. Looking middle there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. 3rd down coming up. Out of the gun, it's Purdy. Has his man, it's Samuel. And he's into the end zone yet again. Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. Make it 4 touchdowns for him on the afternoon. So that one, his 4th touchdown catch of the game. That is 1 behind the single-game NFL record. And he will get in for the 2. They open up the bag of tricks on the goal line and add a pair of points.
Nothing fancy here. This was old-school throwback smash-mouth football, and they're able to pick up the 2-point play.
A 1-score game late, and you figure they got to have this one as they'll try an onside kick.
Illegal touching. Offense.
This is tough. You're trying to give your guys a chance and time it just right, but you have to hit it hard enough. This time, it doesn't go 10 yards. Not going to work out.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. A run up the middle with Pacheco. The speed on display. He's in. Isaiah Pacheco. Touchdown, KC. Big play out of the running game as the back accelerates all the way to the house for the rushing touchdown.
And Mike, when we talk about burst, that's what we're talking about. And they told us all week, be ready for this guy. He's got something special to him. And that long touchdown there is exactly what they're talking about.
Here's the Chiefs and Mahomes lining up to add on 2 more. They'll run with Pacheco. And he's going to go backwards on that one. They take him down back at the 6-yard line.
I don't love the call. I mean, all week you practice these gotta-have-it plays. Every call sheet, Mike, has 3 or 4 plays that are down here in the goal line that could also be used as 2-point plays. I think to simply turn it around and just hand the ball to your running back, gotta be a little bit more creative. That's a big missed opportunity.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. A return now from the 4. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Here's the San Francisco offense ready to take possession of the ball once more. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. To throw, Riddick. They'll try to set up the screen to McCaffrey. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. The Niners will use the first of their timeouts. The stoppage comes with just over a minute to play in this one. Throwing on 2nd down is Purdy. That's caught by McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down after a gain of 3, but that is good enough for a 1st down. He's going to send it downfield for Ayuk. And that is brought in. And this is going to be a touchdown. Hold everything. They are not done yet. They find the end zone through the air. Greg, that is one of the most popular plays because it works so often.
You're right, Mike. We see it all the time. It's a 4 vertical concept. But the key is you've got to stretch the defense and put pressure on the secondary. That's exactly what they were able to do here. They take advantage, and they go deep for 6.
Moody now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the 49ers have cut the deficit to 5.
49ers 36.
A 1-score game late. You figure they got to have this one as they'll try an onside kick. At midfield.
With the rule changes on kickoff, Mike, it's just so hard to really expect to recover an onside kick nowadays. There's a lot of people pushing for kind of a radical change to this. Hey, can we make it 4th and 15? Offense gets the go. If they convert it, they keep the ball. I'm not sure that ever happens. But we can see here, an onside kick, not much of a chance. And all you can do at this point, Mike, is just really marvel at how well he's been able to run the ball. And throughout the course of the game, they've certainly not been shy in giving it to him. And I think he's held up his side of the bargain.
Timeout 49ers. That is their 2nd. And they'll stop it with a little over 30 left in the game. 2nd and 11. On the ground, here's Pacheco. The tackle's going to be made down at the 40-yard line. The Niners will use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining on the clock. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll stay on the ground and stay with Pacheco. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. That's 11 yards again, 2 plays in a row. And another 1st down. victory formation here as he's down to a knee.